What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to Collectors Gone Digital. My name is Josh, and on today's episode, we're talking about Ubisoft's announcement about Assassin's Creed coming to Vivi. Now, never in a million years did I ever think I'd be making a video on this game. I actually grew up playing them. I'm a big fan of the series, so I'm super excited about this drop. And for anyone who isn't aware of the brand, we're going to talk about its background, we're going to talk about the Vivi drop, as well as their prior involvement in the Web3 and NFT space, because this is not their first rodeo. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so first, let's answer the question, what is Assassin's Creed? It's a series of games that transports players to various historical settings. You get to experience pivotal moments in history through the eyes of skilled assassins. Now, the games blend historical fiction, stealth, and open world exploration, and they feature a conflict between two secret societies: the Assassins, who fight for free will and peace, and then the Templars, who seek control and domination. Now, each installment is going to be set in a different time period. So we have the Renaissance, we have ancient Egypt, we have the Viking Age, we have Assassin's Creed Mirage that's set in the Middle East. There's Black Flag that focuses on pirates, and then a few others. Now, why exactly is Assassin's Creed so popular? Because they do have a very loyal fan base. First has to do with the title's compelling narrative. So it offers a rich and immersive storyline that spans across various historical periods and locations. These stories blend historical fiction with science fiction. So again, we have that narrative between the Assassins and Templars. And then the games also explore things like freedom, control, and the nature of power. Now, another reason has to do with the game's authenticity, and this is because they're known for their attention to historical detail. So within the games, they've recreated iconic cities and landmarks from different time periods with impressive accuracy. And I was actually just talking about Assassin's Creed Origins and how they kind of remapped ancient Egypt. As a result of this, you guys get to explore historical settings, interact with famous historical figures, and then learn about different cultures and time periods through the game. And this adds an educational component to the experience. Now, another reason Assassin's Creed kind of took off in the gaming space is because of their innovative mechanics. They were one of the first ones to introduce the free-running traversal system, stealth-based gameplay, and open world exploration, which is a very large component of a lot of games nowadays. With a blend of action, stealth, and parkour mechanics, this is what offers players a diverse range of gameplay experiences, and then also freedom to approach missions in different ways. Now, we've already touched on their storytelling a little bit, and this is going to be one of the major reasons why a lot of people like Assassin's Creed. But to add on to that point, they've built a rich lore and continuity over multiple games. So there's interconnected storylines, there's hidden secrets, Easter eggs, things like that encourage players to delve deeper into the story. And then speaking of that, that's exactly what sparks all the discussions, right? And the theories and the speculation. It's the same thing that happens in our community. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is not their first rodeo. In fact, Ubisoft has actually already entered the Web3 and NFT space using the Assassin's Creed title before. This was back in, I believe it was 2023. So their initial project involved pairing NFTs with 3D printed physical collectibles. And the physical collectible that you'd receive was actually an assassin that you designed yourself. So what you would do, or at least the way they explained it, was you would create your own assassin. A 3D printed physical version of the assassin you created would then get shipped to you. And once it was delivered, you'd scan it to mint it on the blockchain. So you'd have the digital and physical. Now, what ended up happening with this, and it's a little unfortunate, is Ubisoft abandoned the project. In fact, they didn't really tell their holders. No warning, no explanation, nothing. And next thing you know, they make an announcement with Vivi now, without still addressing anything about the former project, from my understanding. The project was in collaboration with a company called IRL Collectibles. Now, before we get into the actual drop details and my thoughts and opinions on it, I do want to discuss the post that kind of outlined this former project, just to kind of show you guys where they left off, because I wasn't involved with it, but I can certainly understand how it would have left a bad taste in people's mouths who were involved. I also think that this may be a reason why they're only kind of releasing one collectible right now, because, and I will get into this later on, Assassin's Creed has been involved in the collectible space kind of since their first game. And they could have offered a whole lot more than just one character with one variant in the whole set. Assassin's Creed has a plethora of characters and accessories, and there's just so much that they could drop. So if this drop does end up going well for the company, I am also going to show some collectibles that they've dropped in the past that I do think we could potentially see on Vivi in the future. More on that later on as well. Alright, so heading over to their initial post on X, this is what it reads. Going down to number 2 here. IRL Smart Collectibles are unique collectibles consisting of physical and digital components. The physical component is a 3D printed cube authenticated by Authentic Vision and NFC tags, which is tied to the same address as the collectible itself. Fans who successfully obtain their digital soul, which was the NFT, at launch date, will be prompted to use our customizer to transform their digital soul. This includes unique outfits and weapons, which will be loaded into the customizer and displayed in a 3D editing page. Once you have completed your customization, you will be prompted to add your shipping information and place your order for your 3D printed smart collectible. Our goal is to add new layers of collecting to allow fans to truly showcase their personality and rarity tastes. Digital identifiers pairing with physical identifiers will allow for this. So again, just to be clear, guys, this project did not happen. Now, when it comes to the actual drop happening on Vivi, here's what we got. It's going to be dropping on Sunday, May 5th at 8 a.m. PST for a list price of 50 gems and a total edition size of 2017. That is going to be the release year of Assassin's Creed Origins. It's going to be an ultra rare first appearance. The minimum bid is 5,000 points, and the first public edition, number 41. The physical has already been released, and this happened back when the game came out. So as you guys can see on the right hand side there, and I will enlarge it on screen, there's a total edition size of 999 physical pieces, and these went to people who had ordered the Dawn of Creed Legendary Edition of Assassin's Creed Origins when it came out. There was actually 2 collectibles they released with Assassin's Creed Origins, and I will show you guys the second one in a moment here. There are going to be some differences between the physical and the digital here. It's going to be the same pose, jumping off the same item. However, he's wearing slightly different attire, and the digital collectible is also missing Senu, which is the bird. And I'd assume that's probably because of the animation. So to round today's video off, guys, I want to discuss some other collectibles they've dropped in the past. In fact, they do actually drop collectibles with every single installment they release. And so this is why I think it's likely that we will see some of these in the future, provided that Ubisoft actually continues with Vivi. So overall, I do think Ubisoft is likely just testing the waters again. That's why they're releasing one collectible, one variant in the entire set, and not a kind of a series of, let's say, 4 characters or something like that. Now, when it comes to other collectibles that we may see in the future, some other notable Assassin's Creed games are going to be Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is actually the collectible you see in blue and white there. That piece was actually part of the Assassin's Creed Mirage collector case. We're also going to have Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is pirate-based. And the collectible on the right-hand side there is going to belong to that game. Now, I am going to toss a bunch more on screen for you guys to take a look at. We also have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Odyssey, we have Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, and like I said, they were releasing these all the way back when they released the original ones. So there are quite a few collectibles that we could actually see here. Another thing I want to point out here, and shout out to Vivi Wheels, I believe it was, who actually sent us the link to this article during one of our live streams. But it was a link to an article talking about how Ubisoft is currently developing 2 Web3 games that should be released by end of this year. Within this article, they talk about Vivi. So we've heard the team talk about their excitement with what's to come with Ubisoft. We know Ubisoft is largely involved in the gaming side, obviously. We have Vivi, who's involved in the gaming side, right? We have the Viviverse and Tengoku. So do I think that one of these 2 games could be Vivi related? I don't think it's far-fetched to think that. If it's not, then it's not. But if it is, that is awesome. Because I've talked about my opinions on the esports side of things. This probably isn't esports related, but anything gaming related typically just gets bigger and bigger and bigger nowadays. So VeVe getting involved on the gaming side, I think it's one of the smartest things they can do for the business. Especially if they're able to incorporate our digital collectibles as assets within the games of these large studios. That would be massive. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down below. I know I talked about prior to the actual Assassin's Creed announcement that I was hoping it wasn't going to be a collectible, that it was going to be like a new feature or a game. I'm not entirely sure if that's off the table just yet. But I can't complain about Ubisoft getting involved with VeVe with their largest IP. It's their biggest brand. We're just going to have to wait and see exactly what Ubisoft is developing with these games. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. That is going to be a full breakdown of VeVe's announcement about Assassin's Creed, what the brand is, the drop, as well as their former involvement in the Web3 and NFT space. I must say it is very unfortunate for anybody who was affected by that first project. I can definitely understand why people would have bad tastes about it, and especially with them now just hopping over to VeVe. The only thing I want to add there, just to play a little bit of devil's advocate, is if they're getting involved with VeVe, VeVe's #1 priority right now is security and making sure that they're protecting their users. And I hope that they've properly done their due diligence where it's not going to be a situation where Ubisoft just comes in and then walks out. And of course, that's only a topic that comes to mind right now because of what they did with their last project. If they never did that and they were still working on it, then I'm sure a lot more people would be bullish about this. But the reason they aren't is because they're hesitant, and I completely understand that. So I'm very curious to see how this relationship pans out. They have dropped Rabbids already, now Assassin's Creed, hopefully more to come, and a stronger relationship after that. But I do have to say, overall, I am very, very happy that Assassin's Creed is now on VeVe. But if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And as for our next, I'll catch you then.